I really appreciate you joining me today, and thank you to our sponsors at Alpha Claims and Hire Birmingham, the leading and best accident management company. We've got a lot of news to catch up on over London, Birmingham and also in Liverpool, and this first story comes from Brixton Hill in Lambeth, and it involves the shooting of a teenager and also a shootout that occurred in broad daylight. The police wrote a statement yesterday and were also going to react to My London newspaper's coverage of the actual incident, being as they was there the fastest and have spoken to the most people. Thank you to the TikToker Harry for his post on the actual scene as well, and it shows him documenting what had occurred and what he's seen at the time.
Little update, that guy over there just said he was sitting on that stool there just eating some munch. This car like crashed and he was like, oh damn, that's crazy, it was a crash. It turns out there was a guy on a moped that must have been like chasing him or something, but after they crashed they got out of the car and then like whipped out a fat shotgun and like bust up a shot or something, but in the process of doing all of this stuff they hit a guy on a motorbike and that's who's getting taken off in the ambulance. I don't know if anyone involved in the thing's actually been injured or anything, but that's a bit nuts. That's nuts. Man said shotgun attack.
In relation to My London newspaper, they've said that a teenager was rushed to hospital after he was shot in South London. Police were called to Brixton Hill following reports of guns being fired on Thursday, May the 12th at 7:15 p.m. Police arrived at the scene and found the victim, who is in his teens, with a gunshot wound. He was taken to hospital and his condition is assessed as non-life-threatening. 3 men in balaclavas, one of them had a big double-barrelled shotgun, as witnesses told the paper, under his jacket, ran away from the scene after the shooting. Another witness said they saw a car crash on Acre Lane near to Lambeth Town Hall before a number of people got out of the vehicle and multiple shots were fired from a handgun. One of the witnesses who spoke to My London newspaper said they was on the bus and the bus stopped and then a big silver 4x4 with 3 guys running out of it and we heard 6 gunshots, and then another guy with a rifle ran by the bus. The reactions from people on the bus were interesting though, and we ducked down and some were crying and shaking. Police are currently on the hunt for the gunmen and they've not arrested anybody yet. One witness said that one man was on a motorbike and he was covered in blood. There was a large cordon in place and police had shut down Effra Road and closed it off to traffic while the investigation was underway. Crime scene pictures also show blood that is still on the road from the incident that had occurred. And there's a dent inside a stone wall next to the Brixton Park. Further reporting by My London newspaper said that the teenager was apparently shot while he was on a red moped with learner plates and he was knocked off the bike by the Land Rover and then he was shot. Witnesses said the crash happened on Acre Road near to the town hall and a number of people reportedly got out of the Discovery and opened fire with the handgun. Pictures from the scene yesterday showed there was a Silver Land Rover and a motorbike inside the rubble on the Brixton Hill Road, and cordons were still in place on several roads in the local area. Following on from this as well, several hours later there was another shooting in Brixton, in Brockwell Park. The police said the victim was found screaming for help after being shot in the leg, and police said if they hadn't found him he may have died from his injuries. 2 people who lived nearby told My London newspaper that at about 2 a.m. in the morning they heard 3 loud bangs and then they joked that it was gunshots but kind of assumed it was fireworks. They then heard a muffling shouting sound and they thought it was a fox, but eventually after 10 minutes they opened the window and heard it was a screaming man. The witness told My London newspaper that I asked the man what had happened and he said he'd been shot and I said where and he said in his leg. We couldn't see him, but I could hear him screaming. It was loud. He was saying, help, help, help. We phoned an ambulance and kept speaking to him the whole time. And we asked him if there was much blood, and he said he couldn't tell because it was dark. The ambulance arrived shortly after, and the man was taken into hospital, and he's in a stable condition. No arrests have been made, and the investigation is currently ongoing. And this is the second shooting in 2 days in Brixton alone. So really appreciate you joining me for this update. I'll be back again very shortly with some more news. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Follow me online as well at Scarcity Studios on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter and Facebook. And thank you to our sponsors at Alpha Claims and Hire. Peace.